Never know when it's on, but it's on now. Other priestly garments. To go underneath the ephod, you shall make a full-length robe, entirely blue. In the middle of it, there shall be an opening for the head, the collar bordered in sheepskin, a woven piece. The hem shall be interwoven with the rest to prevent ripping. Beneath the border of the robe, you shall make knobs as of flowering pomegranate, constructed of blue, purple, and scarlet fabric and fine spun linen, all around the hem of the garment. Hanging from each golden knob will be a flower-shaped bell all around the hem of the garment. Its sound will be heard when Aaron is serving as a priest, entering and leaving the holy place before the Lord, that he not die. You shall also make a plate of pure gold, and as the inscription of a seal engrave on it, holiness of the Lord. You shall put it on a blue cord, and it shall be on the turban. It shall be on the front of the turban. So it shall be on Aaron's forehead. Aaron shall take away the defilements of the holy things, which the children of Israel might dedicate of their every gift of holy things. It shall always be Aaron's forehead to make them acceptable before the Lord. The appointments of the robes you shall make of linen. You shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make a sash of woven work. For Aaron's sons you shall make robes and sashes for them, and turbans you shall make for them for honor and glory. So you shall put them on Aaron your brother, and on his sons with him. You shall anoint them, consecrate their hands, and sanctify them, so they may minister to me as priests. You shall make for them trousers to cover their naked skin from loin to thigh. Thus Aaron and his sons shall wear them when they come into the tabernacle of testimony, or when they come near the altar of the holy place to minister as priests. So they not bring guilt upon themselves so as to die. It shall be an ordinance forever to him and his seed after him. Aaron and his sons consecrated as priests. Now, this is what you shall do to them to consecrate them for ministering to me as priests, to serve me in the priesthood. Take 1 young bull and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened loaves kneaded with oil, and unleavened cakes anointed with oil. You shall make them of wheat flour. You shall put them in 1 basket and bring them in the basket with the young bull and 2 rams. Then you shall bring Aaron and his sons to the doors of the tabernacle of testimony and wash them with water. Then, taking the garments, you shall dress Aaron your brother with the cloak, the ephod, the full-length robe, and the oracle, and you shall attach the oracle on the ephod for him. You shall put the mitre on his head and the sanctified golden plate of the mitre. You shall take the anointing oil, pour it on his head, and anoint him. Then you shall bring his sons and put the robes on them. You shall gird them with the sashes, Aaron and his sons, and crest them with turbans. Their priesthood to me shall be for a continual ordinance, so you shall consecrate Aaron and his sons. You shall also have the young bull brought before the tabernacle of testimony, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the young bull before the Lord at the doors of the tabernacle of testimony. Then you shall kill the young bull before the Lord at the doors of the tabernacle of testimony. You shall take some of the blood of the young bull and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour all the blood beside the base of the altar. You shall take all the fat that covers the entrails, the fatty lobe attached to the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat on them, and burn them on the altar. But the flesh of the young bull with its skin and offal, you shall burn with fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. You shall also take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the ram, and you shall kill the ram, and take its blood, and sprinkle it all around on the altar. Then you shall cut the ram in pieces, wash its entrails and legs, and put them with its pieces and its head. You shall offer the whole ram on the altar. It is a whole burnt offering to the Lord for a sweet aroma, an offering of incense to the Lord. You shall also take the 2nd ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the ram. Then you shall kill the ram and take some of its blood and put it on the tip of Aaron's right earlobe, on the thumb of his right hand, on the big toe of his right foot, and on the earlobes of his sons, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. You shall take some of the blood on the altar and some of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it on Aaron and his robe, on his sons, and on his sons' robes with him. And he and his garments shall be sanctified, and his sons' garments with him. But the blood of the ram you shall pour all around on the altar. You shall also take the fat of the ram, and the fat that covers the entrails, the fatty lobe attached to the liver, the 2 kidneys, and the fat on them, the right thigh, for it is a ram of consecration, and 1 loaf of bread, 1 unleavened cake from the basket of unleavened bread set before the Lord. And you shall put all these things in the hands of Aaron and in the hands of his sons, and you shall set them aside as separate offering before the Lord. You shall receive them from their hands and offer them on the altar as a whole burnt offering, as a sweet aroma before the Lord. It is an offering to the Lord. Then you shall take the breast from the ram of Aaron's consecration and set it aside before the Lord. It shall be your portion. You shall sanctify the reserved breast and the shoulder that was lifted, both that which was reserved and that which was lifted, from the ram of consecration, both Aaron's portion and that of his sons. It shall be for Aaron and his sons an ordinance forever among the children of Israel. For it shall be a special offering from the children of Israel, from their peace offerings, a special offering to the Lord. Moreover, Aaron's holy garment of the sanctuary shall be his sons after him, to be anointed and consecrated in them. That son who succeeds him as a priest shall put them on for 7 days when he enters the tabernacle of testimony to minister in the holy place. You shall then take the ram of the consecration and boil its flesh in the holy place. Then Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread in the basket by the doors of the tabernacle of testimony. They shall eat those things by which they were sanctified to consecrate their hands. But an outsider shall not eat them, because they are holy. If any of the flesh of the consecration offerings or of the loaves remains until the morning, you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. Thus you shall do for Aaron and his sons according to all I have commanded you. 7 days you shall consecrate their hands. You shall sacrifice a young calf for the sin offering on the day of purification. You shall purify the altar when you perform a consecration on it, and anoint it so as to sanctify it. 7 days you shall purify the altar and sanctify it, and the altar shall be most holy. Whatever touches the altar will be holy. Notes from the previous page. 28:17 through 20. 12 stones speak of the 12 names of Christ by which our holy faith is built up. They reveal his oneness of essence with the Father and the fact that he is undivided from him. He is called God and Word, John 1:1. Son and only begotten, John 1:18. Brightness and impress, Hebrews 1:3. Mirror, John 14:9, and image. Mirror, John 14:9, and image, Colossians 1:15. Wisdom and power. 1 Corinthians 1:24. The truth and life. John 14:6. 29:5. Aaron was not born a high priest, but when God willed, he became one. And when God willed, the Word became flesh. And as a high priest, he offered himself to the Father to cleanse us from all sin by his precious blood. 29:14. The flesh of the sin offering was burned outside the camp. Similarly, no one placed amid the evil of this world can lay aside sin, nor is his blood acceptable to God, unless he put away the defilement of the body.